Hello everyone, it's John from DoubleSleeved here, and welcome to another Drafting with John, where we're going to play a little Premier draft. We are fresh off the back of a 7-1. Spoiler alert: 7-1 draft at the last in the last video. And we are go. Okay, so the key again is you need to get into a lane. This is not a bad start. This can get us into the wizard lane very nicely. I'm not overwhelmingly bothered, so I'll go through some of the cards just briefly. This is a good draw 2, discard 1, 1/4 flyer that can be a 4/1 when you cast a wizard spell or instant or sorcery. So a good potential offensive, defensive. A little bit iffy though with it being a 4/1 potentially, but a 1/4 flyer is good, and the draw's good. Kitesail Cleric, not seen a huge deal of this. Is what it is. Flyer 1/1 for 1, has a little bit of a late game kicker effect. Baying Veil, it's okay. I'm starting to rate the modal double face lands a little bit less than probably others. Demon's Disciple, we'd be hoping to will a Diviner, but we probably won't. Yeah, we're looking for... I mean, there isn't a lot of red in there, so... Okay. So, Arbor Mage is a kicker. Kicker card. 2, 3, 4, 2, and you can make everyone block 1 creature, which is great in tandem with like your Death Touch or whatever else, or your big creatures, or even just your small creatures and let your big creatures go through. Vastwood Fortification, this is another one of those, like, is it a good card, is it not? If you wouldn't pay, in my opinion, the way I look at it is, if it's not a late game card, so it's not like a large mana cost kind of late game winning effect, then would you pay for that as an instant spell? If you wouldn't, then why would you have an instant spell that you don't want and a tapped land when you could just have a basic land and a spell you do want? I think we're going to go for the Bubble Snare. It's probably the best card in that pack, and one that I think is well worth it. So, although it may be telling us colours, and it may not be the greatest card in the world, a 1/2 haste flyer on its own is okay. It's, you know, mana cost is a bit annoying, being 1 blue, 1 red, but, you know, the next best is probably either the Shepherd of Heroes or the McKinley Stampedes. This is a good example. Is early game, you don't mind having a tap land, because the potential is that late game you get yourself a +2/+2. Other than that, I am getting more and more inclined to run a Molten Blast or a even potentially like a Broken Wings main deck at the moment. The amount of enchantments with like Bubble Snares, etc., and artifacts that are being played makes it a little bit more interesting. But definitely we'll get the Royal Chaser. That means we do need to go heavy wizards. Okay, so now 4th pick, Deadly Alliance and Feed the Swarm. Ay. I mean, I'm going to take 1st pick Deadly Alliance. First of my Deadly Alliances. I really do like Royal Mage, but I can't help but think that this is a bit of a sign. So blue-black party is kind of what it would be, and we, you know, at the moment we're kind of sat on a wizard and a Bubble Snare, which isn't a problem. I can't say that Royal Mage, if this was a kicker deck, I'd probably be more inclined. It is a good card, a really good card, but I think I'm going to have to go for the Deadly Alliance and see why black's being passed. And this is ridiculous. 5th pick, Royal Eruption. Well, now I don't know what's going on. Now I kind of wish I'd taken the Royal Mage. But, so this is another one, right? Malakir Rebirth. That isn't a bad effect for 1 black. Like, it's not great, but it's not bad. And it has late game benefit, for sure. Keeping your big thing around or your game winning piece. Early game though, it just doesn't do a lot. So that's why it's kind of a good card, because you do want it late game as a spell. But we can't not take the Royal Eruption, can we? I mean, we'll happily take another Bubble Snare. I'm not sure why the Deadly Alliance and the Feed the Swarm was passed though, because it. I mean, there must have been absolutely amazing packs. I'm more than happy to take the Bubble Snare. 2 Bubble Snares, first pack, and a Royal Eruption, and a Deadly Alliance. We're going to have some choices to make. You know, we'll take as many, sort of, the Chilling Traps we'll have one of. Glacial Grass will probably have one of, if we can. Yeah, I'm not in the way, am I? If I went down here, does that make a difference? I'm trying to find the best place for me on this screen, you see. Now, what's this pack telling us? And it's probably a field research. I do like field research, but this is concerning, being open. Yeah, we're not really looking to go like multiple party types, because we're not going to look to want to run the Deadly Alliance on the basis that we're going to want to be blue-red. But we'll happily draw some cards. Yeah, so not a lot here. Again, the Cleric deck would love that. I will take this Rogue, but I'm not overwhelmed by it. So this was our pack. Yeah, no one's in Clerics, which is a real shame. And it kind of makes me want to think, do we try and do Clerics in 2 packs? But it probably is not worth it. Again, I'm not particularly bothered by either of these cards. I just don't think we're going to be aggressive enough for the Inordinate Rage, and I don't really rate the Lagak at all. And we'll happily take a Squid, though. A nice little 3-2. And we'll take the Ambusher. No one in red or blue. Again, we'll take a Warrior, Scorch Rider, but it's unlikely that we're going to necessarily play it, unless we end up going like... Again, I wouldn't want to go blue-red Warriors, because how important I think that the archetypes are. So I am just... I mean, the Ambusher is good. Although it's a Warrior, it is pretty good. Unless we get like absolutely inundated with... Oh, okay. Other things. Okay, yeah. So, we seem to have naturally sent the signals to the pack providers that we are in blue-red Wizards. So, simply put, this is a 2-1 for 2 early game. Or you can pay an extra 5, so it becomes 7 mana with 2 blue in there, to copy... Sorry. Getting it wrong. When it enters the battlefield, it copies. You can pay an extra 5 to copy it twice. And that's a converted mana cost 2 or less, instant or sorcery. So you play this, basically, you play this for 2 mana, and then you play a Royal Eruption, and you can hit 2 things for 3. You pay this for 7 mana, and suddenly you're hitting Royal Eruption X amount of time. Same for Bubbles... no, not for Bubble Snare, but same for like Field Research. Wouldn't be Field Research, it's too expensive. You get what I'm saying. Royal Eruption is kind of the business. That or Into the Royal. Those are the 2 big payoff cards for that. Okay. So, this card is kind of a real aggro... really specific... yes, against Clerics, it kind of stops your opponents gaining life, but it costs you mana to do it. Sometimes 2 if you're worried about them doing it on their turn. I mean, I really do not like any of the cards here. Like I said, a Molten Blast wouldn't be the end of the world. Like, I will have one. This is one of these cards, right? It's a tapped land, or it deals 1 damage to a target. Like, would you pay 1 to deal 1 damage at instant speed? I mean, Shock is 2. But, yeah, it's slightly more utility because of the tap land. I'm just not sure. I've seen it win games, though, so it's hard for me to completely argue with it. Okay, so we're not seeing huge amounts of things. I don't want a second Field Research anytime soon, and we're not really kicking things huge amount. Like, we do have another Rogue, so I will take it. This is a good card. It's 4 mana, 2/3 that you can tap another rogue in order for this not to be blocked, and when it deals damage, you draw a card. So, you know, it's just, for me, if this was 3 mana, so there's a goblin that does the same for 3 mana, I believe. But obviously you can't make it unblockable, which is kind of where the extra mana comes from. But this is the condition of having another rogue. So, luckily we do have one good card in the pack, for our deck anyway, which is the Geyser Mage. 3/2 for 3, and you can kick it for an extra 3 and bounce a creature. Which we're, you know, happy to have it. It's a wizard. It's a good wizard. It's got mid and late game benefits, so that's good. Zulaport Duelist is okay, especially if we're going to collect a bunch of rogues. And I guess, you know, we're going to have to weigh that up later on, is if we're seeing rogues more than we're seeing wizards. I mean, we're getting too late now to be making these kinds of changeovers potentially. But, you know, seeing like this Zulaport Duelist, when we've got a Deadly Alliance, a Gloom Hunter, you know, I'm happy to take the Duelist and have a look to see if there's any rogues going around. No, there aren't, and more than happy to take this Mystic. So this is the better, ironically, of the 2 gold wizards. The Royal Chaser taps, and you can make an instant or sorcery cost X less, where X is the number of wizards you control. Whereas this just grows. It's a flyer, 1/3 flyer that grows by 2 power every time you cast an instant or sorcery or wizard. Not overwhelmed by any of these cards. I just don't like how that's going late. And that, I mean, I'll take a Living Tempest, but it's unlikely I'll play it. Potentially we take out the rogues and we put that in. I mean, a Fissure Wizard's a great pickup for us. It's a 2-drop. We need to keep our mana curve as low as possible. It helps us cycle cards, get rid of some lands, and it's a wizard, so kind of ticks every box that you could tick. Cascade Seer's not great, but it does let us scry, and potentially we'll have 2 or 3 party members. We'll take a little Vampy Rogue. But yeah, we're kind of... We're not laughing at the moment, by any means. I think we'll probably take the Sneaking Guide. We'll take a Tormenting Voice. We may or may not play it. I will take a Cinderclasm. I nearly took that anyway. Unfortunately, Cinderclasm's probably going to be better for our opponents than for us. Well, what do you know? Another Royal Eruption. 2 Sure-Footed Infiltrators are pretty good, but it did come fairly late to us, so we may wheel it. It's unlikely, but we may. The Coma Fodder Vanguard is good in Warriors. We've only got 2 Teeter Peak Ambushes, and we might not even play both of those. Kazul's Fury is good, but it's just not as good as a Royal Eruption. What would I rather draw? Would I rather sacrifice my creature to deal some damage, or would I rather deal 3, potentially 5, or 6, or 9 with that guy? Every day of the week, it's Royal Eruption. Move myself up here again. So if we have a look at what's going on, yeah, we're just sat on the 1. So Expedition Diviner feels good. So does Tazim Royal Mage. I think we've got to keep our curve low, you know. I think we've just got to take the Tazim Royal Mage, hope the Diviner wheels, or the Pack Beast. But it works too well. It's too synergistic with our other things. I'll take 3. I'll take 100 Royal Eruptions. I can't play 100 Royal Eruptions. Why? Yeah. But oh man, definitely 3 Royal Eruptions is great. And we can, you know, with Kazza out, we're playing it for 1 red, which is pretty scary. When we tap her. So, a couple of options. I don't really like Lol Mage's Domination. Into the Royal is brilliant. And gives us more utility, potentially, if they tie up one of our good creatures with a bubble snare or and here he's binding, or even if they've got something we need to win the game. Potentially, even if we've got our blah 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 Stormcaller out, we can bounce a couple of things. So really happy to get an Into the Royal. I'll take a third bubble snare. Whether we will or will not play it, I don't know. We're just not interested in milling. I think we're going to end up taking out another Royal Eruption. 4 Royal Eruptions. How naughty is that? Very is the answer. I mean, so I think I need to take a Stonework Pack Beast because creature-wise, 14 creatures is okay, but we may not play this. But I just think it's good in terms of adding 1 to any potential party amounts. It also helps for being a wizard. So I will take the Pack Beast, which is odd. But we have already got other things that we need. Interesting that that's wheeled. I'll take this to like top end. It's unlikely we'll play it. Oh, the Diviner. The Diviner came round. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, we're not going to play any of these cards, but I'll rare draft. Actually, is the Living Tempest good because of the amount of instants we've got? Nope, we've only got 2. None of these are really important. Last card. I think we've pretty much got our deck here, you know. So I feel like this is the appropriate land. So I'm going to be a bit naughty with this deck, you know. Because if you look at our curve, it is so low. I think we're just very aggressive. I might whack in another Infiltrator and take out the Duelist. I think the Sneaking Guide would work well with it, being as it's both a rogue and it can tap. It's probably obviously better to tap the rogue. With that in mind, is there anything else that I'd want to get through though? There's not really anything else that matters too much. I guess it works well with the Teeter Peak Ambusher as well, and the Umara Mystic. Yeah, okay. So we've got so much hate. Into the Royal, load of bubble snares, hazard, 4 Royal Eruptions. We've got a bit of card draw, bounce up there. Is the Cascade Seer even worth it? Our wizard count is 9. If we weren't going to take Cascade Seer, would I rather take a Seafloor Stalker? Probably. I think that's probably a little bit nicer. We've just not got a lot top end, but I just don't know if it's important. We will soon find out though, won't we? Okay. I can honestly never ever work out how to. There we go. So our key card, Seagate Stormcaller. What we going for here? And we got Kaza, the Royal Chaser. Man, let's go. Kaza, Seagate Master. That's all three rares. How lovely. Obviously, so we're running very light lands, but very low curve. We're not hugely damage dealio, but we are doing a bit. And now I just need to make sure I'm in the right place on the old screeneroo. Lucas 13. Let's get this going. This is perfect for our mono blue deck. I like these full art lands. I really do. They make me happy. Squid turn 2. This is the kind of hand I think we can expect, though. Drawing a mountain would be useful before we draw a red spell. But, you know, we can go quite well here, I'd say. We're going to be drawing some cards off the Infiltrator turn 5. Okay, an island mirror. So we're going to hit them for 3 turn 2. Are they going to flash in a duelist, or... There it is. You can do that. I'll mill 2. There was my island. You swine. Yeah, so the aim here is obviously we can island and attack. Okay, blue-white. Blue-white rogues. Interesting. I mean, happy to take one. If that's your aim. Plenty of things could hurt me there. So I think it's right to play this out. Another duelist is irrelevant because I'll still kill it. I mean, do I care? Like, I mean, I could bubble snare it, but it's like literally doing 1 damage. And I think something I'm learning more and more is when my usual, like, oh, I need to get that advantage, oh, I need to do that thing. Like, it really isn't as important as you might think to kill that 1/1 right now. You know, it's literally, it's not, it's just doing 1 damage. It's going to pale to insignificance very soon. You know, we could have copied a Royal Eruption, but okay, just Dwari Disruption. I don't rate that card, although, you know, in circumstances like we've just shown, it can be good. Yeah, right now they've been a bit annoying, but I could do with them playing a 3 or 4 toughness, 3 or 6 toughness creature. Yeah, so I don't really understand what their goal is. We're going to play this out. We're going to hold open everything. Yeah, they're kind of playing blue-white control, I guess. Kind of where my head's at is into the roiling something that has an ETB isn't the best shout. Had I drawn a mountain, this would be useful to kill the duelist. This is the kind of thing that would kill a duelist like really nice, and we're not going to get it back because we have no way of bouncing lands, which I'm not that bothered by because that's the only land we have that is dual. And in this instance, it helped us out, helped us to cast the Infiltrator and keeps the roller option open, so I'm not really bothered by it. Okay, so they're giving something protection potentially from a colour, which is fine. I would see they could be playing white-blue rogues, which there aren't really any white rogues, so it'd just be blue rogues with white kind of help. I mean, okay. Milling my Marsh of Winds is annoying. Like Stormcaller, Double Eruption. Okay. So this gets around the Jawari Disruption, but not the hard counter. I've got loads more bubbles, so I'm not sure I'm that bothered. No, I'm not going to do it. Like, at the moment, that's costing 3 to do. Makes sense. It's a good block for the duelist. I'm not going to waste a bubble snare on it. Like, this is a really strange... You know, if they attack... I mean, good for them. It's still just 1 damage. So, I don't really know where they're going. They might have a similar deck to ours, but... Yeah, okay. So, that's probably as good a draw as we could expect. So we can make something cost 2 less. We don't really have anything that we're that bothered by. They might. Okay. Kind of half expecting them to... So they did nothing with 6 mana. So you got 7 mana? Now they could play... Well, they could have played the big beastie thing anyway. I guess they're going to want to leave that open. But I know they've got it, so it's kind of a bit... You know, yes, it's a good opposition to the Royal Mage, but... Like them bubble snaring something. Oh, okay. So this is when it's targeted. Okay. Okay. When it's a target of a spell. So... It's not got reach. How do I feel about double royal to the face? I don't know how I find that bothered by it, you know. I kind of want this to be I mean, I'll just hit him for 1. So by doing this, they can't they can't copy their own thing. So what are they getting rid of? A Royal Eruption? Okay. So now we can kind of be more... We've got good blocks here. I feel like if we double bubble... the Duelist... We can't double bubble, John. I'm just hitting them in the face for 6. Was that useful? I don't even know. I'm not that bothered by any of these. We have such good blocks with these two. Yeah, so now we can just start knocking out creatures. They're probably holding some sort of defensive thing, but... I feel like these two have had their day. We either get in for 2 or they lose 2. Like if they're going to block, we're going to lose 2 anyway. So if they want to burn a spell to save 1, they can. But they still don't have good attacks. Yeah, it might be a bit aggressive to do this, but I feel like with 1 bubble snare still there, yeah, we can kind of sort them out. We've got them dead in the air next turn. Yeah, okay. So an odd game, a weird deck they were playing, and not really a mirror, but and a slow game. I have to say, I'm not a big fan of these slow games. I'm sorry if it's a bit tedious to watch. But 1-0 nonetheless. Merselm. Sweet name. So again, that Great turn 1. So we've got clerics, I expect. Like, more than happy for that to grow. Offering the trade, not an issue. Okay, so the aim here then, they're going to make that grow. We can let it get one more larger. But we just don't need to. Look at this. So I feel like we just go... Oh shit, we can't do that. Pardon my French. Yeah, should probably have done that beforehand, but I'm a bit of a silly what name. Missed 2 damage there. Fool. Fool! I am but a fool. Yeah, that's annoying. Okay, well they know what we've got. No reason to play the island out. I'd rather have it for the Fisher Wizard. Okay. Yeah, so this is kind of where we need 7, and we don't have 7. So they don't have life gain there. We are going to need to race, though. So they don't know that we've got another one. That's annoying. Can't block, though. Do I tie it up? So you can, whenever you play a land... I think that's probably the best use, because that can't do anything. Can't come back when you play a land. Yes, we're only hitting for 2 that turn. But another land or 2. Yep. So we can get rid of that with the Royal Eruption. So we're close to being able to cast that. We just have to get rid of that. It's a very aggressive play, but we kind of have to be. You know, next turn we hit for 3, 4, 5. You know, if they start gaining life at all, it becomes scary. We have lots of things to deal with things, though. Another bubble snare sorts this heroes out. The shepherd. Yeah, getting them back makes sense. They can't play them, though. Yeah, they still can't play them. They tapped badly. They could have something, but I'm happy to make a trade. Yeah, okay. So we ding them for 1. We keep a ground blocker. We nullify their acquisitions expert because I have no cards in hand. Okay, just play a 3/3 lifelink, which will work with the Scion. So, playing a mountain, and we don't have another Royal Eruption, all 4 Royal Eruptions. And them gaining 3 is a... Yeah, so this is the power of this Relic deck. I know I played it last time. We managed to smash out a 7-1. You can't underestimate how, like, in this kind of grind, the reason we had to just push on and try and get the win is because this kind of grind is real and it is hard now. We have got a, like, virtually impossible game on our hands. Like, I don't know what we can draw at this stage. Like, I just don't think we have anything. Like, I'll happily trade for that. That thing's incredibly difficult to deal with. So they've got us dead on board next turn, unless you draw a flyer. Well, that is a flyer. That was probably the best card we could have drawn. Yep, okay. So I can make this a 3/3. Oh, they had 3 Blight Priests. No, 2 Blight Priests. That is annoying. I have to block. They're going to pump it up and kill it, but there's not a lot I can do. But again, I do not know what our outs are here. Yeah, so the hyper fast, you know, trying to get in there for big damage, isn't going to work against that black-white clerics deck. It's just so strong. You just need such little ingredients in the black-white clerics to make it really powerful. And we drew a lot of our good cards there, if not all of our good cards. But we still, you know, a couple of decisions could we have waited out a bit longer, but they were going to come at us with that sort of epic lineup of, you know, 2-1s and 3-2s that, you know, just ping each other. We saw all 4 Royal Eruptions. You know, what are you going to do? We get a Stormcaller and a Royal Eruption, kill a couple of their things, you know. But then they've got Blood Beckoning. You build the deck right, and it is very difficult to play against. So, if we're going to lose, we're going to lose to that, I guess. It may not be the last time we play a black-white clerics deck. Yeah, so this is a good hand. Happy with this. Don't need to draw any more lands. I will say that. Okay, I'm not going to trade there. Like, definitely not going to trade now. Okay. I've got good blocks here, so happy to trade the Marassa Brute for the Skyclave. Block the Dauntless Survivor with the Ambusher, possibly. Might just let 2 go through. Yeah, okay. We've got loads of ways of dealing with things, so I'm not massively concerned there. I think we just need to run this out. I could have offered the... I could have potentially got in for one, but I'd rather just have it as a blocker. They can deal with the Master of Winds now, if they want to. I've got some good stuff here, but I don't really want to lose anything to anything but removal. More Rabid Bites, Feed the Swarms. Okay, first time I've seen a Planeswalker when I've been playing. Whenever a land enters, put a loyalty counter on. Untap target land you control. You may have it become a 3/3 elemental with haste and menace until end of turn. Wow, so you can get a creature with mana cost 5 or less. Oh no, 4 or less. No, it would be 5 or less from your graveyard or your hand with 2/1/1s on it. So they could have something. So I need to kill that thing. And I need to get a good blocker out. So we'll get our little friend. So all they can do is +1. If they play a land, they'll end up +2ing. Still gives us another turn until I don't need them putting down a 5 mana creature and it has 2/1/1s on it, and then they get to play something for 5 mana. That's too big a turn. So Sure-Footed Infiltrator can come down next turn, which is good, and so can the T-to-Peak Ambusher. Double Teeter. Surprising that they're not, you know, that mana. They've not done anything. Like these sleeves, though. The unstable sleeves or something similar. Happy for them to use some timeouts. They've obviously got a removal, and they're working out which is the best, because if they get rid of the Diviner, they can attack better, but then they draw me a card. Get rid of the Master of Winds. Yeah, there you go. Now they can get rid of the Diviner, but, you know, is it worth it? Okay. So 2 mana makes this unblockable. I needed to do it. You know, I can take 5, but see, they're just not doing anything. Keep clicking wrong. Happy to tie that up. Should have hit them for 2. Didn't hit them for 2. So I am out of gas, but I do have 2 things that I can buff up, so I don't feel too bad. I'll probably attack with... Okay. So I'll tap the sneaking guide and get in with my infiltrator. So they had all the bombs. Is that what we're saying? That's a haste. That's a flying haste, and it gives this death touch. I mean, what are you going to do to that? Draw the only card in my deck that actually matters. That's what I'm going to do. I think we're just going to have to kick it. One haster and I've got it blocked. Okay. That's fine by me. Keeping my options open. I think if I attack with everything, so I can get in for plenty here. Okay. Was that a bit risky? Yes. Oh, I was like, I had everything to deal with it. I probably could have. I don't know if I could have attacked and... I mean, I could have killed the whatever it was and done things, but... Oh, gold tier 1. Yeah, the low mana spells are just a real hard one. So we just took on there 2 big cards. That Haste, Death Touch Flyer, Nissa. Whew. Wow, is it Zagrath? And Nissa, yeah. Scary Town. That's where they're from. Old Scary Town. Oh. What are you going to do? But what are you going to do? I'm also thinking about streaming. I think I've said this before. Probably in the mornings, just because it's slightly easier. That's mornings UK. I don't know what time people watch these videos or would be interested in watching stream. Only for a couple of hours, couple of days, maybe a week. But I might publish a little sketch. I don't know. We're still in lockdown, quite a heavy lockdown over here in the UK. So there's not a huge amount can be done outside, really, with like people, etc. So kind of a good way of potentially filling some time. I like recording these videos, but I think it'd be fun to have people interacting and have a bit of fun with it. Anastasia and a mythic. Well, that's terrifying. I mean, yeah, I've got time for this hand. 655 Anastasia. One day we'll get to the dizzying heights. Gonna mute that dog because it's annoying. So, I don't know Anastasia. Could well be a streamer. In which case, could all take a long time to do anything. Just cool, like, as I was just talking about. Ooh, mulliganing. So what would I get rid of? Probably the Seafloor Stalker? No, it's kind of my turn 3 play. I'm not sure if that was the right decision. So I think the best thing to do here is Spike Field. If they want to mess around, then that's fine. I mean, they can't be all that good if that's their decision. Like Might of Marasa. 3 colour. Well, we can Brawl Eruption the Devil out of this thing. Why does it keep doing that? Do we just... I think we just play... We play out our Diviner. Okay. Yeah, so we can now, with 3, that should cost us 2. We don't have another blue. We can do that once, and that gets them in. Okay, and they've got one of their own. That's nice. This is kind of the board state you want. Hitting for 3, 6. Okay. So we can't pay life or sacrifice permanents to cast spells. That's fine. It's a 4/4. Can't block these two. Hitting for 6 again next turn. Can't play that. Do I want to do nothing with my mana? I think I'll just hold it open for Tita Peak. Like, it's not a huge problem for us. We're not really on a clock at the moment. Again, Balaged, they could get back, but I'm not sure. We'll probably get the Emeria captain. Might be too late for them by then, though. In fact, it will be too late for them. I think that's the game. 3, 6, 9, yeah. They haven't got a good attack, so it's nice and easy. 6/5/5 mythic. Awkward. I think getting rid of the Surefoot Infiltrator was pretty good. It gave us the extra land we needed, so, you know. 3/1. Doing a similar thing to what we did last time. going 1-0 and then 1-all and then worrying. Let's hope we can go all the way up to 7-1 again. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? 2 in a row. Cassie. Yeah. Again. Like, this is what I want to see. I know we haven't got a huge amount of late game, but it kind of is irrelevant if you can build an early game that's really strong, I think, in a deck like this. You know, they can't really put down more threats that will beat like a 3/2. And so they could be playing fairly aggro. Okay, Gruul. I mean, when I say fairly aggro, you know, that blocks well, and I'd be happy to trade. And if they had a trick, I'd be happy for them to use that trick. Okay, I'll take 4. Okay, so options here. Yeah, we've just got to get rid of. We've got to get rid of the threat. So if it means we take one, we take one. You know. And they wasted their counter on the brush fire, so that's just a pointless 1/1. You know, we've got 2 more turns of attacking for 3. Chances are they've run out of lands. You know, we've got 2 turns plus a removal. Next turn we can do 2 things, which is great. Really? Wow. So they're needing, what, another type of mana? Or do they literally just want to draw a card? So they got rid of a forest to put a forest out. Feels bad, man. Yeah, so at this stage... Like, really happy to have that turn 4. They don't have an attack. Whatever they play, we can either bubble snare or roil erupt, depending. If they want to be aggressive, they're only going to get rid of a weak creature. Wow, they're using a spell to get rid of a 2/1. Oh, feels bad, man. Feels bad. I mean, no reason to not be the aggressor here. I can't trade. See, that's just going to be a 1/1. And I do just really like these cards for something that's not just a 1/1. Them using a 2-mana spell to get rid of my 2-mana spell is just kind of irrelevant. You see, so I could play that as a land, hit for 3, and then double bubble snare. No, I can't. I can Stormcaller. So I think what I need to do is I need to hold this combo. Because it's not lethal yet. They're not going to block with the Lotus Cobra. If we draw a land, we play it, and we hit. Now they're going to want to attack. What is the point in that? So that's game. What a way to win a game as well. Terrible. Terrible. Royal Eruption is so strong. So strong. Okay, 4/1. Ugh. You see how holding that back changed? If I'd have done that and taken them down to 2, which is something I would have done previously, then that would have meant they wouldn't have attacked, they would have been less aggressive. I still would have drawn the Royal Eruption and probably still would have won, but I think, there's only so much you can... okay, so I'll keep it because I've got Pack Beast. And I've got plenty of islands. That's the obvious turn 2, if you've got it. Wow, what a slow turn. That is not what you want. Pay 2 to draw a card. Play an ooze. Offer the trade. Kill their ooze. Play a Pack Beast. Still have another Royal Eruption. Oh, feels bad, man. Could have got him for another 2 damage. Would rather have kept the royal eruption if I could. Having to play their Kalni. Oh man. Are they going to do that to try and draw a card? Oh no. Going to kill the pack beast. Would you look at that? Now the blocker's there. I didn't see if they drew the duelist. They don't even have another wizard. Next turn, we just need to deal 1 damage. And we can deal 3 with that unblocked. Yeah, that's not going to do it. That'll do it. Oh, feels bad. Same trick. Same trick. Oh no. What a terrible person I am. But would you look at that? Platinum tier 4. Ooh. That's the first time, I think. That's good. What do we get? Didn't see it. Too busy clicking everywhere. 5-1. Oh dear. Like most draft formats, I think, again, I haven't got years and years and years of experience, but it does feel like the more aggro you can, if you can get a good aggro deck, then chances are you're gonna be all right. But I guess that's the same for all formats, isn't it? I mean, 4 royal eruptions and into the royal and like 2 bubble snares. Again, we've got plays here. Like I'm gonna keep it, and we're just gonna have to draw an island. It's kind of as simple as that. If we don't draw an island, then I'll have to get rid of the Master of Winds. I will just get rid of the Sneaking Guide, which I know sounds a little bit counterintuitive, but I just really need a... There it is. You see, keeping that Sneaking Guide and drawing them and getting rid of the Master of Winds, would that have been better? Possibly, but like them wasting a spell like that to kill a 2/1 wizard. I don't want to be that guy, but okay, a 4/3. But it goes away again. So it's going to take them a turn to get that back. Comes in as a 6/5. Okay, I dealt 3 damage to them, so I'll use all my mana. So they can play that as a trampler. and deal me 6 damage. I'll just play the guys and mages a 3/2. They're going to run out of cards before I am. What a use of that. So I can deal another 6 damage somewhere. So this is when it enters the battlefield, the next instant or sorcery. It's annoying. No, I won't do that. So if they don't play anything, I win the game. So I think that I win the game. The same way I've won it the last 3 times. Oh, feels bad. Oh, what a combo. It's winning every game. I feel somewhat dirty inside about this. Awful. Slow. It's that like careful, bang, 1 turn. I'll just ruin you. 6-1. We're here again. The thing is, we face another cleric deck, and I can't tell you that we're going to do any good because I just think that they are much better. But you know, we get our ducks in a line. We don't draw an island there. You know, that's another thing. We've taken some risks, and you know they've paid off. So we've built a very low land deck. Aki Snow, the old diamond, which is in the distance. So we can play like almost all of our hand. I think I'm teeter peaking. Like the wizard does get in for a bit more damage, but I just don't think there's anything I want to get rid of at the moment. The only thing we don't really have, I mean, we've got the bubble snare, but we don't have obviously don't have another land. Yeah, so that's fine. Do I just want to draw a shed load of cards, or do I want to? Just think I'll draw a load of cards, you know. I just think that that's the best plan. Yeah, and that's annoying. I think we can race this. It's annoying, definitely. We don't have any life gain, so... Okay. Um... I'm playing that out just because we've got a good block on the sorcerer. They can keep dealing their 1 damage, but next turn we can probably snare and... Okay. Okay, so you can kill the wizard as well. Okay, fine. So that's probably not the smartest move. If they've got a Royal Eruption in their hand. Yeah, they kill that and they kill that. Wow, that's annoying. And then they Relic Axe on that. Crikey. Well, don't we look silly now? Like, that's still going to ping us for 1, but it's going to cost them to move that over, and... Are they going to play another Electromancer? Okay. Like, some good cards they're playing. Good Gruul, and... That can't block, so... I'll take 3. We could have moved that over. Probably should have done. Like, attacking for 1 isn't going to do it, really. I've got blocks. And then I can... okay. If they've got the +1/+1 thing, then they can win. They can win anyway. Ah, well. Silly, but hey-ho. 6-2. So we're not as good as the Black-White Clerics deck. That was like the next stage up in terms of like bigger stuff. They had a good hand stacked of that kind of 3/4 mana, you know, aggressive creatures, and yeah, we just didn't fare well against them. We didn't draw any of the removal we needed. You know, Royal Eruptions there make an absolute mess of that, but you know, we've drawn well so far. We're now playing against some really strong opposition, so we can't argue with having to play well in order to do any good. So I think I just like Pack Beast here. Doesn't really tell the opponent a huge amount. I like that. Gives us our land drops for Sure-Footed Infiltrator. It forces our opponent to do something. So we're going to mill when they hit us. Okay. Like, them taking 4 is not a problem for us. Yes, we would have drawn a card, but what are you going to do? I'm happy for them to attack us and mill us. Okay, they don't want to, that's fine. So, we've got probably Fisher Wizard, Binning, Sneaking Guide. Much better. Pass the turn. We could have Royal Mage there, but I think another land and Royal Mage becomes just that much better. Okay, so they're really going heavy mill. I guess we've got the question of, do we want to get rid of the crab? Like, is that the thing that's... So what have we got here? So we can get a Bubble Snare, we can get a Spike Field. So what that should be saying to our opponent is we don't have any removal. They've seen a Royal Eruption go in there. They know that I'm killing that next turn. So, you know what? I will kill it. And if they want to intervene, they can. You know, I'm looking to potentially just win on direct damage. I think I do need to get rid of that, though. And just change the win condition a little bit. So I've still got 6 damage to the face. That's annoying. There is another Royal Eruption in there as well. Okay. That's not a bad draw. They might even have a Jawari Disruption in their hand. What do I care about? What do I care about? What do I care about? That helps me to... Yeah, I think I just need to... I think I just need to pass the turn, be a bit more patient. Like, we're not milling out at the moment. We've got cards. So I don't feel too bad about it. It's a 4/4 Menace. Not bothered by it. Okay, we still get the land. So if I Umara Mystic now, like, do I want to hit them in the air for 4? Would I rather attack with this, them give something Death Touch, us pump it twice, or have that pump on the... Yeah, I can't pump it twice and play Umara Mystic. I think that 1 damage is going to be important. Next turn we go in just with the Umara Mystic, possibly with both. Okay, so if I... How many have I got there? 7. I'm so close to triple... Like, I don't know what they've got in their hand, obviously, and... That's annoying. That's annoying. That is annoying. I could draw another Royal Eruption, but I'd rather have 2 Royal Eruptions. So they're going for it. I think we have to block this. They're not going for it. Yeah. That's annoying. So I would have been able to triple... Puts us in a really strong position here. And they could negate it or whatever, but they might just sack. As I go for 4, 7, and then the 5, which is 12. And there's still 2 flyers in the air. Takes them down to 1. You can do it. Press that concede button. Or don't. Crab mills us for 3. Gonna concede? You know you want to. Just concede now. There it is. 2 tough games that beat us. 2 good decks that beat us. And we managed to sneak it through against some like good ranking opponents as well compared to our previous kind of usual Tiers. I never normally look at the deck, but just in case anyone's wondering, there it is. 4 Royal Eruptions, the Into the Royal, the 3 Snares, the Spikefield Hazard, which didn't do a huge amount of work. And, yeah, some fantastic cards in there, guys. No Mythics, I don't think. And a Stormcaller is. Stormcaller's Mythic. Which, I mean, that with the Royal Eruptions is filthy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's been a long video. I will see you guys, hopefully, for another fantastic 7 win. See you later on. Bye.